So I need to cook at the same time. I need to talk to you guys, entertain you, and I don't know what to do. But tutamanage tu.
Number 1 Kenya mzima, East Africa, mambo ni hapa. Kila kitu ni tamu tamu zaidi.
Bear with me. My time is limited today very badly. We need to talk, of course, while I'm cooking. So, I have made my rice. That is it. And now I need to fry this meat very fast. What did I just do? I wanted to fry this meat first. And now I'm frying onions first. Anyway, I have another pan. The onions can fry here. And I fry the meat this way. Yeah, I have experience of living without a father. I know how much I admired people with fathers. And that's why I promised myself that if I have children, no matter what relation I have with their father, whether it's bad or good, then I will always make sure that they enjoy the presence of their father in their lives. I will always make sure that I have a good relationship with the new wife of their father or new girlfriend, wherever, just to create peace for my own children and to give them opportunity to have their father the way they're supposed to have him. And I will make sure that they grow up knowing that when they're big, they should also be able to help their father. In days when I was growing up, girls were a bit pulled away from their fathers, while the sons were more treasured and near their father because it was thought that they would stay forever with their parents, build homes within the community, but the girls would leave and go and have their husbands. This is one of the reasons why I don't use my father's name. I regret it a lot, but I didn't have any authority within it when I was growing up. Birth certificate, ID, anything to do with me that is certificate-wise, I had no say about it. I wouldn't do that with my children. I would make sure that everything that I'm doing with my children's certificates, everything that I'm doing with my children's identification, I try as much to think of how the child will feel in future, how it will affect the child in future. Or if I can't decide, then I'll give it some time and wait for the kid to decide for themselves. When I was in primary school, fellow pupils, they used to call me with my mother's name, thinking that it is my father's name, but that was not my father's name, that was my mother's name. So what my mother told me personally about using father's names is that it would give me a lot of stress when I have to take up my husband's name. Then I'd have to go to these complicated offices to have to move my father's name and replace it with my husband's name. So to spare me all that stress, it was wise for me to just use my own names and then wait until I have a husband, then put a man's name there. But no, I can't change back time. Single mothers, please spare the child your stress. Let the child, first of all, have their father's name, as long as the father agrees to it. It helps in the future. Secondly, as they grow up, please let them access their fathers so that in future they don't have to blame you. We have women whose kids have grown up and their fathers are alive, but they didn't have access to them as kids because they feared their mothers. That my father is alive, has no problem with me at all, really wants to see me, but my mother refuses my father to see me or to have access to me all my life. Then when I go back to my father as a grown-up, it becomes a problem. The father has the same rights to you as a big girl or a small girl, just like your mother. But then you grow up and then somebody wants to talk you out of the relationship between you and your father. Kugonganisha mtoto kichwa na baba yake. It's just not right. It may be good for you. You might, as a woman, be gaining from your daughter who is in the city or abroad, wherever. You might be gaining a lot through her. You may start to bring up your dreams to be true, the dreams that you had before. You may want to fly abroad to go and live with your daughter. But one thing that we should all know is that this kind of lifestyle affects the kids and the parents. As women, we should really think twice before we give birth to our kids. If you decide to make that fetus grow in your stomach, make sure that you have decided that it's about love. The love between you and the child should not be affected by your own personal relationship. A child is a human being, an independent human being, whose life should be fairly given to them. So if you decide to give birth to a child, and then within the pregnancy, or just before you give birth, or after birth, your husband leaves you, your boyfriend leaves you, your fiancé leaves you, then you should not use this child for your own gain. If you hate them, give them away to people to adopt them early enough than to start to misuse them and to spoil their whole life. You know, I can be happy in my house. I can be a big girl, happy, blessed, looking good, eating. But sometimes your childhood problems or the problems between your own parents back at home can really affect you big time, and they can also bounce back and affect your own children. You know, I'm not a lecturer, I'm not really good at preaching, but I always have good messages, and they come best when we use the method of telling stories. I think so. So this is my plate. I only use white plates. Nyangia cha. Hey, nyangia no. Okay. The rice ni toka ere. Hii rice leo sipua. Normally I use basmati, but I don't know. I sent somebody to buy me rice. Akanibaia hii rice hapo in a bag like this, and I'm realizing that it's rice for nini, rice for making sushi. I never send anybody again. I sent a neighbor. Anyway, I eat a lot. Let me not jifanya ati nataka kupaka kidogo. Like ni tumbo yangu and food yangu. Okay, rice. And then I have my meat, my beef stew. It's a stew, beef stew. Okay, so this is my food. And then I take my fork. I eat with fork. For health and strength and daily food, we praise your name, O Lord. Amen. Enemy.
Brown chocolate.